Greetings, fellow Mtwagazins. Hopefully, I find you well wherever you are. Today, we will be using English because we want our voices, our views, our policies, our strategy, and everything about us to be heard across the board. So that's why I will be addressing you in English today. I usually address my people in the Ndebele language, but today I will speak in English so that the entire Mtwagazi is able to hear what Mtwagazi Democratic Alliance has for its people without struggling. Fellow Mtwagazians, this has been a terrible week. A lot of our people are stranded. A lot of our people are in distress. A lot of our people are stressed. They don't know what their future holds for them. This comes after the South African government announced that it is no longer renewing the permits for the migrants. So this is very, very painful, especially to our people, because a lot of our people, we know, they rely on foreign remittances that they acquire from their people based abroad. And a large chunk of our people who are working, they do that particular work in South Africa because the current regime in Zimbabwe, it is closing up for our people. It doesn't care for our people. It is a tribal regime. It is a regime led by slaughterers. It is a regime led by Kukurawundis. It is a regime that doesn't carry the mandate and the aspirations of our people. That is why our people end up resorting to go to other countries to find employment so that they are able to feed themselves as well as to feed their families. So it is really an uncomfortable decision for the South African government not to issue our people or not to renew permits to our people. Anyway, we would love to thank and appreciate the South African government for keeping our people. They have been keeping our people for a long time. It has been an easily accessible place of refuge for our people. So all our people everyone in Mtwagazi is in distress. Everyone in Mtwagazi is stressed. Everyone in Mtwagazi faces challenges. Everything in our land is crumbling. Our political system is crumbling. Our economy is crumbling. There is nothing which this ZANU-PF government have got right. Everything that they have done, they have got it so very, very wrong. So that is why they have made our land to be difficult. It is highly difficult to survive in Mtwagazi under the regime of ZANU-PF or under the establishment of the ZANU-PF. So those people who are in foreign land, they should understand our people. Our people are not going to foreign lands because they love to reside in those foreign lands. Our people are going there to seek refuge because in Zimbabwe, our people are sidelined. In Zimbabwe, our people are abused. In Zimbabwe, our people are treated as third-class citizens. In Zimbabwe, our people's rights are violated. There is nothing that the Zimbabwe government under the current coup regime and the previous regime of Robert Mugabe which they have done that is in the interest of our people. So our people have to be understood. We are not living in foreign lands because of our own will. Some, they were pushed by their stomach to go in foreign lands and look for a better livelihood because they searched around Mtwagazi and they couldn't find anything. So, fellow Mtwagazians, I wished I could stress this point so that we are understood. I'm feeling a lot of pain for our people. There is a lot of anxiety. I mean, everyone is in stress, and I understand them. And I understand where they are coming from. I understand how they are feeling now. The future is uncertain because the South African government has decided to stop the renewal of the permits. Anyway, we know what stopped the renewal of those permits. If you follow very well the ZANU-PF plan, which is called the 1979 Grand Plan, they are not only seeking to conquer Mtwagazi alone, no, they are seeking also to conquer Southern Africa and go as far as the African continent. So most of our fellow brothers who are coming from Harare, they were doing what they are doing to us, to the South African citizens. That is why the South Africans retaliated. We saw the movements of Put South Africa First, mushrooming, and we can't blame those movements because they are acting in the interest of their country. At the end of the day, they have to defend their country from the extension of the 1979 Grand Plan. Zimbabwe government, led by ZANU-PF, their goal has been to dominate each and every tribe. They are not stopping from Mtwagazi alone. They are seeking to extend that dominance to the entire African continent. That is why it backfired in South Africa. Unfortunately, as it backfired in South Africa, it also affected a lot of our people. A lot of our people find themselves in trouble because of Zimbabwe. We find ourselves under economic sanctions because of the ZANU-PF government. We find ourselves in economic troubles because of the establishment that was established by ZANU-PF. So I'm here speaking on behalf of my people, which are the people from Mtwagazi. The people from Mtwagazi, as we have specified in the map of Zimbabwe, we are talking about the people of Midlands. We are talking about the people of Bulawayo. We are talking about the people of Matabeleland South, as well as Matabeleland North. That is what we call Mtwagazi. This is the territory that we are fighting for. Remember, Mtwagazi was a free nation pre-colonial times. Mtwagazi was free before 1893. We were not united with Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe was our neighbor. it is the truth. That is the accurate historical record that we seek to restore as the people of Mtwagazi, because we believe Zimbabwe project has failed dismally under ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF didn't come into politics to build a country, didn't come into politics to serve the interest of the people, but they came into politics to divide the people, to divide the Africans. That is why everything they touch, it becomes a mess. There is nothing that is done by ZANU-PF which is right. Everything that they are doing is out of control, is out of order. So that as Mtwagazi people, we become the victims of such kind of a system. So I'm speaking like this so that our fellow African brothers can understand the plight of our people. We are not in your countries to disturb you, especially the people of Mtwagazi, but we are living in your countries because the government of Zimbabwe resents the people of Matabeleland. They resent the people of Mtwagazi. In those who doesn't know, when they came into power, their first project was to eliminate anyone who was coming from Matabeleland through a program termed Kukuraunde, which was conducted by a military wing called the 5th Brigade. The purpose of that particular political program was to eliminate everyone from Matabeleland. A lot of our people were killed. Thousands of our people were killed. Millions of our people were displaced through that when ZANU-PF implemented that program. So we need to understand the plight of our people. We need to understand the plight of the Mtwagazi people and the historical background of why a lot of countries see mass migration from Mtwagazi, especially to other countries. Unfortunately, it is not only our people who are now migrating, even the beneficiaries of the 1979 Grand Plan, they are also scattered all over the country, because in the process of exercising tribalism, that thing has backfired to them. They have seen themselves isolated by the international community. They have seen their economy collapsing. They have seen state institutions collapsing. There is nothing in Zimbabwe that anyone can be proud of. That is why you see them now enacting a policy to stop, they are enacting an act called the Patriotic Act, which seeks to force voices like us who are speaking the truth, who are speaking the political status quo, who are painting the image of this regime or this establishment as it is. So this patriotic act that this government is seeking to implement is not by any chance in the interest of Mtwagazi people. But this act seeks to thwart dissenting voices. It seeks to thwart political opinions, viable political opinions that can assist our nation to move forward. So I am speaking this so that everyone who has a privilege to watch this video can understand why a lot of our people, they are migrating to South Africa. And our people are a humble people. They are hardworking people. By the way, our relationship, especially with the South Africans or the South African government, is as old as history. You see, the current ANC was not working with ZANU-PF, but it was working with ZAPU. ZAPU had its base in Mtwagazi. That is why in 1980, it won all the constituencies that were in Mtwagazi, because the Mtwagazi people believed that ZAPU was carrying their mandate, that ZAPU was carrying their interest. So our relationship with the South Africans, debt as old as history. We are the descendants of Mzilikazi, by the way, Mzilikazi who came from KwaZulu Natal. That is why you see almost all the languages that are in Mtwakazi can be traced back from South Africa. So we are not enemies with the South Africans, but I know the South African government had to take this decision because of the attitude of the people of Zimbabwe, the attitude of the people of Mashonaland. These permits that were issued to our people, they did not come through the application of any laws in South Africa, but they came through negotiations. Their leaders who negotiated for those permits. But what did ZANU-PF and its people came to do in South Africa? They were now challenging the South African government to give them permanent residence. And obviously, if I was part of the South African government, I was going to react the way it reacted. South Africa has done a lot from Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is supposed to appreciate South Africa. Having said so, I am still calling for the leaders in South Africa who are able to listen from us, who are able to hear the voice of Matabeleland, the voice from the Mtwakazi people, to exercise leniency, especially on the people of Mtwakazi. They should consider this. Our people are not in South Africa because they like to be in South Africa. Our people are in South Africa seeking refuge. And the other thing, our people who are in South Africa don't have documents because it's not because they want to break the law. It's not because they love to break the law. It's not because they are not law-abiding citizens. Let me tell you, it is very, very difficult in Zimbabwe to access a document such as a birth certificate, an ID. What about a passport? A passport is seen as a luxury. The amount put by the government to access a passport is exorbitant. Apart from that, you need to pay other extra monies to the corrupt officials to access a passport. So it is very, very difficult for anyone residing in Mtwakazi to have a passport because of the current regime, because of the establishment of the current regime. So I'm speaking largely on the issues of migration, especially regarding our people, to explain, to make the international community be aware that we are not in foreign countries to disturb or to destabilize your government or to take the economic space for your people, but we are there as refugees. We are there because where we are coming from, our people faces a lot of challenges. So I think I've spoken largely about the decision taken by the South African government. We respect it and we welcome it. We welcome that decision. We will, however, continue to negotiate with the South African government to be lenient, especially to our people. They are not in your nation to trap your people. They are not in your nation to cause any harm. If there is any harm that we have experienced as a result of our people, it wasn't intended. It is caused by their background, where they are coming from. So South Africa becomes a place of refuge because our people live better in South Africa than in Mtwakazi under this current status quo, under this regime, under this brutal system of governments which seeks to destroy. By the way, when they were implementing the Kukurawunde genocide, they wanted to wipe each and every person residing in Matabeleland, each and every Nguni person residing in Matabeleland. That was the purpose. That is why ZANU-PF was established. And the truth has to be said, and we are not afraid to say the truth. We will speak it as it is, because now it is time for us as Mtwakazi people to wake up and smell the coffee, to wake up and see the reality as it is. Some of our people, they don't understand where we are coming from. They don't understand the historical background of this project called Zimbabwe. This project called Zimbabwe is not meant for the Mtwakazi people. This project called Zimbabwe, it is meant for the people of Mashonaland. It is not for us. That is the truth. No matter how much you may try to associate with it, it will always flush you out. We have seen a lot of our people who have tried to associate with the system. At the end, the ending, it always ends in tears. That is the truth. So this is the situation that we are facing as Mtwakazi people. This is the reality, and these are the circumstances that our people are subjected to. So we have, however, a solution. I'm addressing now the people of Mtwakazi. Fellow Mtwakazians, we have a responsibility. We have a country. We understand our problems. We know our problems very well. We know that we have a country, but that country has been colonized. We know that we have land, we have homes, but the atmosphere in our homes, they are not pleasant because of the current political arrangement as well as the political system. However, the power is upon us to unite and reverse this. Our situation is reversible. Our situation is solvable as long as we unite as Mtwakazi people and participate in political activities. Let me tell you one thing, whether you like it, whether you love to be in politics, whether you don't love to be in politics, whether you are a pastor, whether you are an accountant, a lawyer, or whatsoever, let me tell you, my brother and sister, politics somewhere, somehow, it will always affect you. You see, our people's permit are not renewed because of politics. Politics was at play. So whether you like to participate in politics or you don't want to participate in politics, whether you fear or you are brave enough to participate in politics, know one truth, that politics affects each and everyone around the world. Politics determines the future. Politics determines what you will eat. Politics determines whether you will get a house or shelter. Politics determines whether you will get good and equitable service delivery system. Politics determines whether you will live under proper governance policies. So if you prefer not to participate in politics, you are committing a suicide against yourself. Because at the end of the day, politics affects us all. So the first point, I have a solution. What is the solution in Mtwakazi? Someone may say, Tonbani, yes, we are hearing you. You are stating the truth. You are speaking. What is exactly happening in Mtwakazi? How do we solve that? So, number one, we need to correct our political attitude. A lot of our people, we are no longer registering to vote. A lot of our people, we don't want to participate in politics. A lot of our people, we don't want to involve ourselves with anything that is political. But let me tell you one thing. If you do that, what will happen? We will have Shona councillors, as it is the fact now in Matabeleland, because of the 1979 Grand Plan. We will have people from Mashonaland being our MPs. We will have people from Mashonaland being our district administrators. We will have people from Mashonaland running all spheres of government. And do you know what they will be doing? You'll be working hard outside the country. When you come into your country, they will devise policies that they take away every good thing that you have worked for. So we need to change our attitude as the people of Mtwakazi and begin to see and have the foresight and see that politics affect each and every one of us. Whether you are abroad, politics will one day knock at your door. I have given an example. These permits, the renewal of these permits, politics was at play, and the politics came with this decision. Whether it's in your interest or not, politician makes this world to go round. So we have created a political party. We have created a political organization which is specifically meant to stand for our people and address the challenges that affect us as Mtwakazi people. So what must we do now? We must make sure that we participate in politics. join Mtwaga's Democratic Alliance, register to vote so that we ensure that MPs, councillors, and everyone who is in Matabeleland belongs to Matabeleland. It is the first step towards our freedom, taking the political space in Matabeleland. The money that, because let me tell you one thing, those MPs and those councillors, they are paid to be in Matabeleland. What are they doing? They are doing nothing. They are busy looting. All the MDC councillors that have been operating in Bulawayo, if you go and research, they have been looting our land. They have been looting our resources. We have poor service delivery. Our people are dying from cholera. Why? Because we have allowed the people of Mashonaland to occupy our political space. So Mtwaga, the people, first thing, we need to reclaim our political space. How do we reclaim our political space? By participating in politics. We need to be brave for our own good. Let me tell you one thing. One of the purpose, one of the tenets, one of the foundational purposes of the Kukuraunde genocide was to put fear in Matabeleland. It was to make sure that you don't participate in politics. If you participate in politics, you become a puppet. We have seen the puppets like the late the John Commons, all the Nkomos, they became the puppets, by the way. We have to speak the truth. The truth will set us free. You talk of the Jonathan Moyo, when they were in ZANU-PF, they were puppets. They are making noise outside the country, but also as they are making noise there, they have become also the puppets of the establishment, now supporting the opposition. So they are not they are not doing politics in the interest of Mtwaga's people. They are doing politics for their own stomachs. The likes of Opet Impof, they are not there to say their views. They are there to be controlled. So this is the predicament that we find ourselves in. So we have to deal with our fears and be brave and join politics and begin to educate our people about the political future of Mtwaga's, about how we are supposed to go moving forward to address the challenges of our people, because we are facing a lot of challenges. We are a nation in crisis, and it is us as Mtwaga's people who have the power and the capacity to decisively deal with this crisis. No Zimbabwean government, no Zimbabwean opposition political party, MTC, ZANU-PF, they are not in our interest. They will never solve our problem. Our problems will only be solved by us as Mtwaga, as a people. Our problems will only be solved by us. That is, if we get rid of our fears and confront the enemy head on. This matter requires me and you to stand up, put fear aside, so that we solve our problem. Our people are dying, even those who don't want to participate in politics. That's why you see our people falling from the flights from Hebrew, because they have nowhere to run to. They have nowhere to run to. They have no solution to their problems. Our people are dying as they are trying to cross the Limpopo River. Our people are dying as they are trying to cross to Botswana. Our people are dying all over the world. Why? Because we don't have political leaders that are acting in the interest of Mtwagas. And it is upon us as Mtwagas people to fight against our fears and ensure that we take this brave step of joining this political party to free our nation. We need to free Mtwagas. Zimbabwe will never work for us. They have failed for the past 40-something years. They will never be a solution to us. What they will do, they will continue strengthening their 1979 Grand Plan policy, which is to see all Ndebele people being either nationalized or displaced all over the world, being voiceless people. That is the attitude of ZANU-PF. There is nothing else. So as the people of Mtwagas, it is upon us to decisively deal with the enemy, to decisively confront the enemy head on and deal with it, We need to come back into the political space, and we need political action that is pro-Mthwakazi to solve this political crisis that is currently bedelving our people. We need to fight for our political space and opinions. You see, because if you are not into politics, they will be busy implementing the law like Patriotic Act so that they silence you. They will be busy to put laws, apartheid laws, so that they ensure that you stay in fear. Even if you are hungry, you can't speak with anyone, you end up resorting to die. How many people have died because of ZANU-PF? And how many people are expected to die so that we wake up and confront our challenges and decisively deal with them as a people? Kuze kube nini bantu bakithi silokhe sisesaba ukuthi sibhekane nalesi sitha confront head on and ensure that we fight, and we fight bravely and win. Remember, we are not the descendants of the cowards. We are not the descendants of the leaders that feared the enemy. We are the descendants of warriors. We belong to the descendants of, we come from Mzilikazi. Mzilikazi was a warrior. Mzilikazi was a fighter. No enemy won against Mzilikazi. No enemy won against Lopengula. Our kingdom was not defeated. The Mthwakazi kingdom was not defeated. That is why Lopengula was never captured. You capture a kingdom when you defeat its king. Our kingdom lives. What it requires now, it is brave and courageous leadership that will work with its people to take its people towards the journey of freedom. And how does the journey of freedom belong? Through political participation. Let us guard our place. Let us guard our land. Let us guard who we are. We need to fight for our land. We need to fight for Mthwakazi. We need to crush the 1979 Grand Plan. We need to realize our potential as a people. We need to realize how strong we are. We need to realize that we were also created by God. The capacity that the people of Mashonaland has, and any other people that have freed ourselves, we also have that capacity. We also have that capacity. What it takes is for us to unite. What it takes is for us to participate actively in politics. We need to create our own stable currency. Discussions are in progress around this matter. Someone might say, how? You are not in government. You don't need these days, in this day and age, to be in government to create your own currency. In the world of digital currencies, in the world of cryptocurrencies, we are busy in discussion so that as Mthwakazi people, we create our own stable cryptocurrency. We own our own blockchain. We are capable. We are able to do that. All we need is to be united. All we need is to participate in politics. Don't say, no, I will not participate in politics. I'll do business. By that way, I'll be empowered. Yes, you'll be empowered. The politicians have power to make sure that you don't succeed in that business. So you need to have a political party that has your back so that you become successful even in your career that you have worked hard for. There are a lot of our people with degrees. What are they doing? They are doing construction in South Africa, Botswana, because they don't have papers. They are into security, being paid less than 150 rand a day. Why? Because they are not in their land. They don't have papers. You see, our people are living in very, very difficult conditions because we have neglected the political space of Mthwakazi. We have neglected who we are. So, part of solving our problems, we need to create our own currency. Discussions are in progress in our leadership to ensure that that dream is realized. Let's deal with this tissue money, bond whatsoever, bond nonsense that is always losing value. You know what they are using with that bond money or whatever, bond paper, or is it a toilet paper? They put that money into the market. You put the foreign currency. They take that foreign currency. They give you the valueless tissue. Should we continue being subjected under such evil conditions? No. Our people are working hard for their foreign currencies. And they are working under very, very difficult circumstances. They are insulted, they are abused because they are refugees. They have no voice. So, hence, we need a political party that will be sober, that will put its team down and come up with means and ways of creating our own currency. It begins from creating our own currency. From creating our own currency, we'll be able to create our own banks. We can create our own banks and register them to other countries and ensure that our people future is secured. For example, a lot of our people in foreign lands, they are undocumented. What it means, they can't even pay for their insurances. They don't even have pensions. So all those people without papers who are undocumented, they will come back to Mtwagas, whether dead or without anything. So we need to wake up, use our brains. We have a lot of big brains. We have a lot of young people with potential, untapped potential, who are able to sit down and come up with a strategy that will be a solution to monetary issues in Mtwagas. So we need to realize our strength. We need to rediscover our identity and tell it out to everyone. We have an identity crisis as the people of Mtwaga. Some of the people, you hear us fighting against us, not knowing that we are fighting for them. Everyone who is residing in Matepelelen South, Matepelelen North, Bulawayo, and Midlands, you are Mtwagas. You are living in Mtwaga's territory. You are not a Zimbabwe. That is your actual or real identity. Your real identity, you are Mtwagas. Whether you are selling out our people, but the truth is you are Mtwagas. No matter you may try to sleep with our enemies, you may try to fight with us. If you are coming in the place that I have mentioned, you are purely Mtwagas. Even those guys who are in ZANU-PF, who are helping ZANU-PF to persecute us, they belong in Mtwagas. You see, you will never erase that identity. No one will ever erase. Inosinkala tried to do it, but he ended up coming back to Mtwagas because Mtwagas was his land of birth. We need to self-correct ourselves. We need to love ourselves. We need to love our identity. What will be the fruits of loving our identity? We will begin to fight for our land. We will begin to fight for our freedom. We will begin to fight for our development. We will begin to unite for a common goal. And if we unite, I tell you, ZANU-PF will be the thing of the past very soon. MDC will be the thing of the past very soon. All we need is to unite for a common goal and a common purpose, which is the freedom and the development of our land, as well as our people. So, without addressing this political quagmire, this political challenge that we are facing in Zimbabwe, as Mtwagas people, we will be always languishing. We will be always crying. We will be always viewed as nothing outside there. We need to begin to love ourselves. We need to begin to love our rich culture. We need to rediscover ourselves. We need to be proud of who we are. The day we become proud of who we are and the day we will love our identity, that is the day we will begin to conquer our enemy. So we need to correct our own history. Our history has been manipulated. You see some of the people defending ZANU-PF. You see some of the people labeling us as tribalists. Don't worry about those people. It is because they've been indoctrinated with the wrong history. You see, indoctrination is in politics is a very, very powerful weapon. That is what ZANU-PF have done. What have they indoctrinated into our minds? They have created into our minds that we are few. But are we few? We are not few. You see, they have created in our minds that we are not able to be free. And what is happening? We are in bondage. So the power is in us to rediscover our identity and tell it out to everyone. We are the people of Mtwagazi. Yes, we are colonized by Zimbabwe. Yes, we are abused by the current status quo, the establishment, or whatever nonsense you can call it, but we are the people of Mtwagazi. That is our identity. We are not Zimbabweans. That is why we can't fit in this establishment called Zimbabwe, because we are not, and we will never be. We are the people of Mtwagazi. That is who we are. And it is worth fighting for, especially if it is manipulated through history. Our children are taught the wrong history. We are told that Lopengula sold the country through sugar, but Lopengula never sold the country through sugar. Especially the people who sold out the people of Matepeleland were the people of Mashonaland. Because if you go at Mbembes, at Katate, we call it Katate, if you go there, you will discover that it is 652 Shona Batesmen who assisted the British colonialists to defeat the Mtwagazi nation. Mashonaland, in fact, they are the ones who are sellouts. The lead, whether there was a leader, whatever, they sold us out because they received the pioneer column. They never resisted it. And they joined forces with the pioneer column to come and try to, they never defeated us because they never captured our king. I always say, so you defeat us through capturing our king. So we were ruled by conquest. Our king was never captured. That is why the Mtwagazi kingdom still live, and it will live forever. So we are not cowards. So we need to teach our children the proper history. We need to tell our children that whatever they have been taught under the Zimbabwean establishment is wrong history, is nonsense. It is meant to build within them the consciousness of disliking their identity, the consciousness of disliking their tribe, the consciousness of looking down upon ourselves. And we need, as Mtwagazi people, to work on our conscience, to work on our identity. Who are we? So if we do that, we'll be able to correct our history. I'm challenging the new generation to do a research and write proper history and put a proper narrative and correct our history, because our history has been manipulated. The statistics of Mtwagazi has been manipulated, and that has been done political. Why? So that we remain dominated by the establishment from Mashonaland, which is ZANU-PF, MDC, and anything that calls itself Zimbabwe or a national party. It is never in the interest of Mtwagazi people. Even ZAPU is not in the interest of Mtwagazi people, because they are using Zimbabwe. They are using Zimbabwe. I'm sorry, you know the challenges of electricity in South Africa. So we need active citizenry in Mtwagazi. We need active citizenry in Mtwagazi. We need to invest in agriculture. We need to build our own business empires. We need to ensure that our children take schooling seriously. We need our own media houses that will tell the Mtwagazi story. We need to protect our heritage. We need to create our own viable music awards. Not these ones that have our names, but they are not acting in the best interest of our people. We don't want such media houses, but we don't want such awards. We need to create our own residents association that will address the resident related problems. We need to create our own insurance system. We need to revive our rich culture, to create good relations with the international community. As it is now, we are crying, our sanctions are hitting us hard. We never invited those sanctions. Those sanctions were invited by the establishment. We need viable Mtwagazi Student Association. We need our own Mtwagazi human rights organizations that will stand for the interest of our people. So, fellow Mtwagazians, it is upon us to wake up. I invite you, if you have the capacity, to share this video with as many people as you can, so that our people hears that there is a political party that seeks to fight for them, and that is Mtwagazi Democratic Alliance. Ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of our today's live broadcast. Thank you for following us. Thank you for liking our page. Continue to invite your friends to like our page. Continue to invite your relatives to like, as well as join our party. If you want to join our party, contact us via our page or any digital platform that you will hear me speaking from. We are available also on Twitter. We are there on YouTube. We are there on almost all the digital platforms, and we will be there forever. So we want, very soon you will see us visible on the grounds, because our sole purpose is to free Mtwagazi. Thank you very much for joining us. Sorry about the last segment. We are in the dark because of the electricity problems. Thank you very much, Mtwagazi. I love you. God bless Mtwagazi. God bless Africa. There will be a solution. Don't worry. Don't kill yourself because of permits. There is God in heaven, and there is a solution. We have also a political solution. Join Mtwagazi Democratic Alliance, that have your right as a Mtwagazi citizen. Thank you very much. God loves you, and I love you. Mwah.